Hi, everybody. I'm Mark with Marathon Press. Today, I'm so excited to have you meet Brian and Jessica Baer. They have been operating a studio out of Kearney, Nebraska for over 25 years. They've both earned their PPA Masters in Craftsman's degree as well as the National Award. They have each won countless photographic awards and have a passion for helping people. And with that passion for helping people, they've taught numerous programs that have helped photographers all over the country to increase their photography skills and their business as well. They most recently taught a senior program that I badly wanted to attend, but I was at the Texas school and I couldn't go. So I convinced them to do this podcast with me today. So I'm really glad you're here, guys. Welcome, Brian and Jessica Baer.
Thanks for having
us.
I should put in some sort of audio clapping or something, right? Sound effects. But no, guys, when we do these podcasts, this is unrehearsed. So everything we do is just off the cuff, which makes it even more fun. But the reason I wanted to do this today with you guys is we've all seen the changes in our industry in senior photography. And there's so many photographers trying to figure out today, first of all, what do they need to do to market to their seniors, how to market to them, what style of photography are seniors wanting. So that's going to lead me into sales here a little bit. Let's talk about what are the kids buying. Then if we can do a lot of photographs as photographers.
Mm-hmm.
And again, with you guys, when I look at your work, I can't even imagine how in the world they ever choose with all that great work. So tell me, what are you, first of all, who's typically there making the decision for sales?
It's mainly mom. Dad will come along a majority of the time, not all the time. And then the senior does come along. We encourage the decision makers to be at that appointment and we give them a 2-hour time frame. Most of them don't need 2 hours, but some of them do because there's a lot of images and there's a lot of opinions of what images the senior likes and which ones the moms like. But what we do is the Gary Box Create a Package. So everybody gets a wall portrait from their senior session or a collection of wall portraits. And step 2 is probably the most important one. They have a collection, whether it's an album, a storybook, or a folio of some sort. So they can get multiple images because most seniors will see between 35 to 60 images, depending on the session that they booked. So we want to make sure that they get as many of those images as they want in a collection, which drives them into one of our albums, which is probably one of the most common because they want a lot of images. And then a bonus with those images is what the seniors want is the social media files. So if the senior spends a certain amount, every ordered pose that they've gotten, they get as a social media file on their app to post throughout the year.
And you said something so important there, Jess. You're not overshowing the number of images. That's key because we all know that if you show too many, they go into mind melt and they can't make a decision.
Decision fatigue. And Brian's always said, if you confuse, you lose. And that is like burned in my brain.
And there's 1 hour window. And if you ask them to make too many decisions, and I guess everybody's got a certain number of decisions that they can spend each day. And when they're out, they just shut down. So the key is don't use up all those decisions on meaningless things. Do the work for them. Be a service to your client. Don't show them 3 pictures that all basically look the same. Exactly. Pick the best one, show that one.
Yeah, because they're trusting us with showing them the best of them. And as a mother, you make a lot of decisions in a day. And I'm not saying that dads don't, but as a mother, you do shut down towards the end of the day. You're like, I'm done making decisions for everybody. So it's nice to make it as easy as possible for them.
So when they come in, tell me how the process works.
Okay, so they come in about a week later after their session and they'll come in and sit down. We've got this nice little area back here and comfy couches and we got a big screen TV and we use ProSelect and they view a slideshow of all of their images. And then after that, Carrie will sit with them and they just do a sort where if it's a yes or a maybe, it goes in the smiley face column. And if it's a no, we just hide it. And so once we're done doing the initial narrow down, then they go through and we start, okay, step 1, what are we thinking for your wall portrait? And then they bring up their favorites for the wall portrait and narrow it down from there. And then usually by then they've had enough narrowed down for their collection. And we're like, you've got about 30 images here. This will fit perfectly into a book. So then all the images go into a book. And then they break down to their gift prints and then their wallets. And then if there's anything extra, we have a whole catalog of other products like acrylic blocks, art strips, curved metals, all kinds of other little things that would work good for other family members. So we just guide them through each step one at a time, and let them kind of make their decisions. And we'll put in our opinions if they ask us.
Mhm. So you're finding that, people are buying wall portraits, books, and you've
Mhm.
got your unique products too, like your acrylics. And what do you find for your unique products as little add-ons? What are they interested in?
The art strip. You want me to go
Yeah,
grab
yeah.
it? Okay, I'm
Well,
gonna go
yeah,
grab it
well,
quick.
okay.
Yeah.
So our art strip, it's a 4x10 print with 3 images on it,
Okay.
and we give it away as a bonus, but it's
Split it.
also available for purchase.
Nice,
But,
okay.
but
So it's a little desktop
yeah,
print.
and I'll
All
tell you,
right.
here's the genius part of it though, is we give them away for free. It's half of a unit, so very inexpensive product to gift
It's
away.
a bonus. If they heard a certain price level, then they get it for free.
But then immediately we say, would you like a frame for that? By the way, you're not going to find this size frame at Target or Walmart or Hobby Lobby. The frame for that we have available is $29. And it's a reasonable
Mhm.
cost. But we probably sell 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 clients the $29 frame, which
Who wouldn't want that?
yeah,
I know,
exactly.
it's
Yeah, yeah.
cute.
And so we're covering the cost of the frame and the print, and there's profit in there to spare.
Mhm. And more importantly, they're getting something that they're gonna enjoy.
Yep.
E-
And
exactly.
and it's 3 poses. They can make it be completely 3 different things, or like we did here with Jada, it's all the same outfit. So it's consistent. They can build it however they want
Yeah.
from the images that they've ordered from. It can't be a completely new image because it's already retouched and Carrie just has to put it into the template.
Drop it and go.
Speaking of retouched, how do you handle the showing the images? Do you show one of them retouched and then the rest are as is, or are they all retouched?
Well, we have the one that's retouched for their sneak peek, which goes on their thank you card after the session, and it goes on a Polaroid when they come in for their sale appointment. So there's going to be one image retouch that gets used 3 or 4 different places.
Okay.
And then when we export and get them ready for ProSelect, they go through portraiture. It's just a light retouching,
Mhm.
just to kind of take off the edge a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. Tell me, you mentioned Polaroid.
Mhm.
What is that? When-
Okay, so it's just a little thing that I love I'm not a love getting gifts. I love giving them. So like little trinkets that we can give to our seniors to help be part of the experience. So we have created, it's a little square card. On the back, it says why we print and why it's important. And on the front is an image. It's just a little, Brian will grab one, but it's a little Polaroid. We bought a Polaroid printer that connects Bluetooth to our phones. So the image gets loaded onto my phone, and then we just send it through this program and it prints off that exact image as a Polaroid, and they get to take that home with them.
Wow, that's brilliant.
Yeah, it's
that-
fun.
Is that an original idea or is
No,
it-
well, not necessarily. Like we go to sync. And so one year we went, I think it was like 2018, and they had these Polaroid printers there at one of the booths. And we're like, well, this is really cool. Like the way it just makes you feel like I get this really great image that's not actually taken on a Polaroid, but has the Polaroid look.
Yeah.
So it's not super original, but we thought this is something cool we could do for our seniors.
Yeah, this is the printer. I couldn't find any
Oh,
prints that are okay. Justin knows where they're at, but this is the printer. It takes the little packet, you install the app on your phone, you hit send, and it spits it out and it develops. And it's just a tangible, fun little product, and it's a great little giveaway. And again, there's the whole reciprocity theory of you give a gift and then people feel obligated to give you something back. And at this point, we're asking them to give us their business.
Nice.
So yeah.
That's a great idea. I've seen those, but I never really kind of thought about how they would be used anymore. So that's brilliant. Yeah,
Yeah.
very impressive. how much are the packs, Brian? Do they come in a 10-pack or?
I think they come in 10 packs, and they're about $25 for a pack. So it's about $1.50.
So this is what they
per
get.
image.
Oh, look at
We've got a
that.
little logo there.
And
We
did
put the
it?
year that they graduate because I don't want to have to worry about screwing up names. And on the back is just our little verbiage. You probably can't see it, but it's just
Yeah.
why we print.
Yeah.
And then the corners, these are album corners. They're just peel and stick corners that hold the photo. So
You get them at Hobby
yeah, so the
Lobby.
kid can then take the photo out, stick it on the refrigerator or whatever. But this is just how we present it to them.
That's great.
And it's on a little easel, and then we have 2 bottles of water sitting there. So when they come in for their sale appointment, they've got water and they've got this cute little thing.
So that sits out ready for them when they come in, and you
Yep.
just hand it to them and
Yep.
say, it's our little gift for you. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool, man. Again, part of the experience. It's
Yep.
why people keep coming to you.
Yep.
Do you do that with families and kids and everything? No, just seniors.
The things that we can keep up with. Like, we got to be able to manage our time and our efficiency. And when we have a system, it takes a little bit to get used to it. But once you're in the rhythm, it's the rhythm. And we know that's what we do for seniors.
There you go. All right. Okay. So we talked about the experience a little bit and the photographic style and everything else. Let's talk about also, how do you handle digital file requests? I'm sure everybody,
Yeah.
first questions they ask you, what?
It's evolved for us, but where we're at now is we feel really good about. So if you called us and said, we just want digital files, we say, great, we have, what would you like to do with those digital files? And they're either going to say, well, I want to print my own prints, or I just want something to share on social media. So we'll say, great, I'll answer both those. With a minimum order of $500, you will get an app that will send to you that has all of your purchased poses as digital shareable files. And you're free to share those however you like. So if someone says, well, yeah, but I want to be able to print something too. Okay, we got you. Within our creative package, if a client chooses a pose as a wall portrait or a gift print, so 8x10 or smaller, or their wall portrait pose, then they have the option to purchase that printable digital file for $75.
After buying the print.
After buying the print. So there's a qualified purchase, and then it opens the door for that $75 add-on digital. And that does one thing that's important to me, because I was hesitant to just, well, here's the digital file. They print it at Walmart, have a bad experience, and blame us because they think we did something wrong when it was a lab thing. So by requiring the purchase of a product, they're going to see that it looks like this, the color looks like that, it is sharp, it is clear. And then if they go have a print made at Walgreens or wherever, and it doesn't match that, they can go, okay, it's not going to come back on us. So it just gives a point of reference, whether they realize it or not, of the quality that we have as our standard.
Excellent. Excuse me. And then from there, how do you, and sales are over, do you offer, like some studios I know will say, hey, because we photographed your senior, we do family photography too. How do you handle those messages?
Yes.
You want me to take that one?
Yeah, you take
Okay,
that.
so one of our bonuses at the back of the senior guide, if they've spent a certain amount, they can purchase a family session for $20.
Okay.
So they used to be free, and some people would just never come back and use that because it was free. They didn't have skin in the game for it. Well, if they spend $20, which our normal session fee is $89 for a family photo shoot. So if they spend the 20, they're more apt to come back and use that.
Do you find,
So that's how we do that.
do you have like a deadline of when they need to take advantage of that?
They have 1 year. So it's the date of when they pick up their portraits. They have 1 year from that time to use that sessions. And a lot of them wait until October when the colors are beautiful out here and they're not quite as busy. And then some people wait until spring, like now we might have a couple families come in and do that, or, you know, June, because some of them haven't ordered until August. So they'll come back in June when it's really green and school is done. And there's that little bit of lull for families which that first week of June, we honestly have a handful of families that have seniors. So
Oh.
the ones that do get it, I feel like we have a pretty good turnaround
Yeah.
because we do get to see the seniors again later in the year.
Yeah, and they're familiar with the process. It's mirrors our senior system very closely, and we've put a lot of effort and energy into training this client. Why not give them a second experience? And again, their seniors likely heading off to college. This is a time to do that family portrait. We find many over half of our seniors probably come back for a family portrait session within a year.
That's impressive. Very nice. How do you handle delivery? Do you package it in a bag, in a box? How do you brand and package it all up?
Yep. So all of our wall portraits get a nice, clear, very nice looking bag on them. And then all of our 8x10s and smaller, we have black boxes that get tied. They're nested in there with like our copyright stuff. And don't forget your yearbook. There's a couple pieces of information that go in there. Then the prints, then it gets wrapped in black tissue paper. And then there's a black ribbon that goes around that has a bear sticker that puts it all together. And then when they come in, either Carrie or myself, we've got a little like pickup area over here that we have a shelf on the wall that the wall portraits go on the shelf. So that way we don't have to commit to putting a hole in our wall and they go on the shelf. And then on the table is all of the products and everything is opened. So then when we're all done going through and double checking the order with them, we package it all up and they have a little present to take back home and unwrap with whoever else they wanted to show.
Very
So
nice.
everything has a nice protection to it. And if it's a lot of stuff, they get a black glossy bag to put it all in.
Do you find too, when you package all that up and people come in to pick it up, then do you have to open it up and show them, or do you just kind of deliver it? How do you
We
handle
show
that?
them. Every client gets walked through with their order because we want to make sure we're not missing anything with them. And it gets us a chance to show them and get their feedback if there's anything wrong. So it's just a nice little extra service. I don't like just handing stuff up. It's part of the experience is for them to come here and see and feel and like, oh my God, this is so special.
Yeah, and I think packaging is an important piece to make it easy to unpack and repack efficiently. It doesn't need to be like a Christmas present that you open up
Yeah.
and then you have to re-tape back together. I see some studios that have this elaborate cover on their wall portraits and then a ribbon, and they have to unwrap it and then they have to rewrap it. The packaging we use has basically it's a clear plastic bag, so we don't have to unwrap. We have them sized from 11 by 14 up to 20 by 30 or 30 by 40, so that we can show them without having to dismantle the. So yeah, here's
So
an
they can
example.
still see everything. It's
I'm not-
really
So
clear.
Yeah.
it's a very, it's not the lab bag that they send. It's a nice, clean bag that
It's tight.
fits tight and you can see through there and it's all ready to go. And
Nice.
but yet it protects it.
Yep. Do you have your Bear logo on it as well?
Well, down here,
Down,
Oh, I
this
see
is part
what
of the
you mean.
print here.
I got
yeah,
you.
but
Yeah.
this is our box. So it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
Very
8 by
classy.
10 box, black ribbon, and then our sticker. And then inside is the prints
Very
with
classy.
the black. So everything is branded and clean. That looks like our bear.
Yeah,
look.
yeah. By the way, your mall display, whenever Jill and I get to Kearney seems to be our landing spot heading out to Colorado for some reason.
Yeah.
I always stop by your booth out there when I'm there, and sometimes I'll leave little notes for you guys.
Oh,
But,
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
we've gotten those. We've gotten
Still
those.
love those.
yeah. So anyway, I always think, well, what should I write to these guys this time?
So good.
Yeah, but very classy display. Do you find that people, mall displays are different today, or malls are different today? Do
Mhm.
you find that's still an effective
Yeah.
area? I would think so.
I think it is.
Yeah, it is. And we got kind of stupid lucky by tripping and getting into that opportunity. Basically, we purchased the display from a retiring photographer. And it's a gigantic mammoth thing. But I wanted to differentiate from the other photographer that owned it. So I had it towed out of there to an auto body shop and had it painted glossy black. It was this oak color, dusty, looked very good in the 80s when it was built, I'm sure, but it was dated. So the high gloss black paint job we
Mhm.
gave it made it look completely different.
Yep.
And then we brought it back in, and the rent we've paid for it again has kind of been grandfathered in. I'm not sure they've ever increased the rates on that, but what we probably easily pick up one new client a month from having that display.
Yeah, it's nice to have.
And we're real happy, and it's led to actually relationships with the mall for other projects too, just by being a tenant of the mall.
I really like, and again, when a fellow photographer likes going up and then looking at it and
Yeah.
enjoys it, it's a good display. So
And that's one of those things we're evolving with as the years go on. Like
Yeah.
Brian just put in like a wood floor in every window now. And we had somebody build this beautiful little kind of like where we keep all of
Enclosure.
that's the
Yeah.
word. And it's like,
Yeah.
ooh, we're just classing it up a little bit more every time. So just keep changing.
one more question before I wrap this up, because I know we're about out of time here, but do you have other community displays that you have up, not just with seniors, but year round, or how do you do that?
There's one other that I'm thinking of top of mind. Maybe Jess has something else in mind, but we do a cute kid contest that we actually just finished up the photography for, and we're in the voting phase now, but we're going to announce the winners here in a month. And we partner with the Children's Museum here in town. And the winners, we announce the winners at the museum with a display, and that display stays up year round, and it gets rotated out annually with the cute kids. And what other great place to have great photos of kids than at the Children's Museum, where parents are taking their kids to. That it's a perfect demographic for that type of display.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I can't thank you both enough for sharing this wonderful information. If people want to get a hold of you, how can they reach you?
Well, they can find our website. They can friend us on Instagram, on Facebook. It's Bear Studios everywhere. It's the same thing. They can go watch our TikToks if they want. It's just Bear Studios. So they can find us anywhere.
What's a good email address to reach you?
Email is brian@bearseniors.com.
Okay, sounds good. And I'm Mark Weber with Marathon Press. You can reach me at markw@marathonpress.net or 800-228-0629, extension 283. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you again next time.